So what does it mean to be well? We've talked like this is something that we kind of know what it means, but I'm not sure that we do. It's, you know, remember it's more than just money. That money helps reduce stress, certainly. But beyond a certain point, money and happiness are unrelated. It seems to be more about the style with which people go or approach the world. And so it's not just absence of symptoms. And in fact, in some places, I would say that symptoms make some sense. Someone who does not respond to a deep tragedy with some sadness or with some sort of emotional response, somehow that doesn't feel right. So it's something about how people approach their world. And we'll look at a variety of different models to help us think about it. I have posted 2 videos sort of related to this. I think the Ben Underwood video is probably with chapter 4. But both of these, both videos talk about people who face significant challenges. Ben Underwood lost his eyes due to cancer when he was 2. Amy Purdy lost her feet. And how have they responded to these things? Have they responded well or not so well? And I would ask you to think about, what is it about them that you find positive, if you find something positive in how they respond. So Abraham Maslow talks about this hierarchy of needs. And, there's some disagreement about the hierarchy and whether we need all of these needs and, but what I really want to be focusing on here is this at the top, this need for self-actualization. This need to realize our potential, to be who we can be. So Abraham Maslow talked about this as a process. So not self-actualized human beings, but self-actualizing beings. People who have a fresh appreciation of people, life, and things. Who don't just sort of see things the way they've been told to see things, but see the world through, in a new way, who are able to be open, authentic, and spontaneous, who are interested in people and have good, intimate relationships with them, who enjoy their work and also have a good sense of humor, not a hostile, biting sense of humor, but more a philosophical sense of humor. They tend to have more peak experiences where they're sort of open to the world. Their personality is more balanced. They're resisting cultural pressures to conform in certain ways, and they tend to be more problem rather than self-centered. Now, you might stop and think, is there someone or someones in your life that are more like this? And what is it about them that sort of makes them something, someone that you really look toward in a positive way? As we're thinking about what is wellness, certainly there is this combination between well-being, doing well, and mental illness. And one can have, good well-being and also have some depression or some anxiety. Obviously, people who have mental illness and low well-being are really running into problems. In this model, we're thinking about emotional well-being, psychological well-being, and social well-being, and how each of these come together. And we may do better in some ways than others. I like this wellness wheel. So in the wellness wheel, there's this focus on balance. To what degree are you dealing with your physical needs, your intellectual needs, your emotional needs, your social needs, career needs, spiritual needs. And if you are only focusing in one part of this wheel, then you're likely to be running into some problems. Yet another way of looking at things is not in terms of what things you're focusing on, but how are you focusing? And so Marty Seligman talks about this model, PERMA, and he says that people who are well tend to experience more positive emotions. They find opportunities for joy, for humor, for awe, for compassion in their lives. They engage in their world, so rather than sitting in class, blah, just expecting it to absorb into you, they're much more likely to engage with it, to ask questions, to be thinking about it, rather than allowing their mind to go elsewhere. They're more likely to do things that foster their relationships with other people, that give them a sense of meaning and purpose, and that help them feel a sense of accomplishment. All of these together, as we're thinking about this, we can think both about how these, what we're doing, but also make sure that you're thinking about how are you doing it. And we'll probably come back to these ideas throughout the semester. Take care.